Everyone tells you to find your purpose, to discover your passion, to figure out what you were meant to do. But what if you're looking in the wrong direction? What if purpose isn't something you find? What if it's something you uncover by removing everything that isn't it? In a small village in Japan, there lived a man who spent 40 years searching for meaning. He read books, attended seminars, tried different careers. Nothing worked. Until one day he stopped searching and started eliminating. What he discovered changed everything, not just for him, but for everyone who learned his method. This is the story of reverse ikigai, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why finding purpose is impossible, and why eliminating non-purpose is the only path that works. But I'm warning you now, this method will force you to confront something uncomfortable. Everything you think you want, everything you think matters, most of it isn't yours. It's borrowed, adopted, inherited, and this practice will reveal that. Brutally, clearly, undeniably. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, and your life will never be the same. His name was Takeshi Yamada. In 2003, he was 45 years old, successful on paper, middle management at a tech company in Tokyo, good salary, nice apartment, respected position, but inside, empty. He had no idea what he was doing or why. Every self-help book told him the same thing. Find your passion, discover your purpose, follow your bliss. So he tried. He explored hobbies, painting, photography, learning guitar. None of it felt right. He took personality tests, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, StrengthsFinder. They gave him labels, but no clarity. He went to life coaching sessions. They asked him questions. What would you do if money wasn't an issue? What did you love as a child? What makes you lose track of time? He didn't know. He couldn't remember. Everything felt forced, artificial, like he was trying to convince himself to care about things he didn't actually care about. Then one day, his company restructured. He was offered early retirement, a generous package. Most people would panic, but Takeshi felt something else, relief. Not happiness, not excitement, just relief. Like a weight he didn't know he was carrying had suddenly lifted. He took the offer, left Tokyo, didn't tell anyone where he was going, just packed a bag and drove. He ended up in a small rural town, a place with more trees than people, more silence than noise. He rented a tiny house, one room, barely furnished. And for the first time in his life, he stopped trying. Stopped trying to find purpose. Stopped trying to discover passion. Stopped trying to become someone. He just existed. And something remarkable happened. As his life became simpler, his purpose became clearer. Not because he found something new, but because he removed everything that was covering it up. The clutter fell away, and what remained was obvious. So obvious he couldn't believe he'd missed it for 40 years. Here's what most people don't understand about purpose. It's not hidden. It's not buried deep inside you waiting to be discovered. It's already there. It's always been there, right on the surface, obvious, clear, undeniable, but you can't see it because your life is cluttered with other people's expectations. Your parents wanted you to be stable, so you chose a stable career you hate. Your peers value status, so you chase titles you don't care about. Society says success means money, so you pursue wealth you don't need, cluttered with activities you think you should enjoy. Everyone plays golf, so you play golf. You hate it, but you keep playing, because that's what successful people do. Everyone travels, so you travel. You're exhausted, but you keep going, because that's what living fully means, right? Cluttered with goals you adopted because someone else said they mattered. Buy a house, build equity. That's smart, except you hate maintaining property. Get married, have kids. That's what adults do, except you value freedom above everything. All of this clutter creates noise, constant noise, mental noise, emotional noise, existential noise. And in that noise, you can't hear your own signal. You can't feel what actually matters to you, so you keep searching. reading books, trying new things, taking courses, hoping one day something will click. But it never does, because you're adding more noise on top of existing noise. You're searching for signal by adding interference. This is insanity, and this is what Takeshi finally understood. The answer isn't addition, it's subtraction. Not finding, uncovering, not discovering, revealing. And this is what traditional Ikigai gets completely wrong. You've probably seen the Ikigai diagram. It's everywhere. 4 circles. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for. The intersection of all 4, that's your purpose. That's your reason for being. Sounds beautiful. Sounds profound. But here's the problem. It assumes you know what you love. But do you? Really? Or do you love what you've been conditioned to love? It assumes you know what you're good at. But do you? Or are you good at things you've been forced to practice? It assumes you understand what the world needs. But do you? Or do you think you know based on what others say? And it assumes you can accurately predict what you can be paid for. But can you? Or are you just guessing based on current markets? Most people can't answer any of these questions honestly, because they're covered in layers of conditioning, layers of expectations, layers of borrowed desires. So they fill in the diagram with what they think they should say, not what's actually true. I love helping people. Do you? Or do you love the idea of being someone who helps people? I'm good at analysis. Are you? Or are you just better than average in your narrow field? The world needs sustainable solutions. Does it? Or is that just what your social circle talks about? I can be paid for consulting. Can you? Or is that just what seems respectable? And they end up with a purpose that looks good on paper, sounds impressive at dinner parties, fits on a LinkedIn headline, but feels hollow in practice, empty, meaningless, fake. Because it is fake. It's not theirs. It's assembled from borrowed parts, and borrowed purpose is no purpose at all. Takashi realized this, sitting in his tiny house, staring at his own Ikigai diagram he'd filled out years earlier. Every answer was a lie, not an intentional lie, but a lie nonetheless, so he threw it away, and he flipped the entire process. Instead of asking, what should I add to find purpose? He asked, what can I remove to reveal it? Instead of searching for meaning, he eliminated meaninglessness. Instead of trying to discover passion, he removed everything he wasn't passionate about. This is reverse Ikigai. And it works. Not because it's easier, it's harder, much harder. Because elimination requires honesty, brutal honesty, the kind of honesty that destroys comfortable lies, and most people aren't willing to go there. Here's how Takeshi did it. Phase 1. The 30-day elimination audit. He spent 1 month observing his life without changing anything. Every activity, every relationship, every possession, every habit, every thought pattern. He wrote it all down in a notebook, not on a computer, not in an app, physical notebook, physical pen. Something about the physical act made it more real, more honest. And next to each item, he asked one question. Does this energize me or drain me? Not, is this important? Because everything seems important when you've invested time in it. Not, do I need this? Because you can justify needing almost anything. Just energy or drain. Simple, binary, objective. He was ruthless, honest, uncomfortably honest. No exceptions, no mercy, no justification. His weekly team meeting, drain. His morning jog, drain. He thought he loved running, but when he was honest, he hated it. Every step. He only did it because healthy people run. His friendship with Kenji, drain. They'd been friends for 20 years, but every conversation left him exhausted. His apartment in Tokyo, drain. The prestige meant nothing. The maintenance was constant stress. His collection of photography equipment, drain. He spent a fortune, used it twice, kept it because quitting felt like failure. Reading business books, Drain. He thought he should stay current, but he didn't care about business trends. Playing golf with clients? Drain. Absolute drain. Every second of it. And what energized him? The list was short. Painfully short. Working with wood, just shaping it. No project, no goal, just feeling the grain, watching it transform. Teaching his neighbor's kid basic life skills. How to change a tire, how to cook rice, how to handle money. Simple things, but it felt meaningful. Writing, not professional writing, not articles or reports, just thoughts, observations, questions. In his private journal. That was it. 3 things, out of dozens, maybe hundreds. 95% of his life was draining him. Only 5% energized him. And within that 5%, there was a pattern, a theme. Something consistent across everything that energized him. Creation, teaching, simplicity. That pattern was his purpose, not something he found, something that was revealed when he removed everything else, when he stripped away the noise, when he eliminated the clutter. What remained was signal, pure signal. And that signal had been there all along, buried, covered, hidden. But there. Phase 2, the commitment purge. Once he identified what drained him, he had to eliminate it. This is where most people fail. They identify the problem but lack the courage to cut it out. They see the clutter but keep it anyway. They recognize the drain but tolerate it. Because elimination is scary. Elimination is permanent. Elimination requires admitting you were wrong, that you wasted time, that you made mistakes. And ego hates that, so they make excuses. But this relationship is complicated. I can't just end it. But this job pays well. I can't just quit. But I've invested so much time in this hobby. I can't just stop. But people will judge me if I change. Takashi didn't care about any of that, because he understood something most people don't. Everything you keep that drains you is actively preventing you from living your purpose. It's not neutral. It's not harmless. It's not just there. It's a direct obstacle between you and alignment, between you and clarity, between you and the life you're supposed to live. So he cut, systematically, mercilessly, completely. He quit activities that felt obligatory. No more golf, no more networking events, no more conferences, no more professional development seminars, none of it. He distanced himself from people who only took. Kenji stopped calling, stopped responding, let the friendship die, not cruelly, just naturally. It had been dead for years anyway. He'd just been propping up the corpse. His other surface-level friendships, same. He stopped maintaining them, and they evaporated, proving they were never real. He sold possessions he didn't use, the camera equipment, gone, the business suits, gone, the golf clubs, the expensive watch, the status symbols, all gone. He kept what he needed, what he actually used, what brought him joy or served a clear purpose. Everything else, eliminated. He simplified his schedule until it was almost empty. No meetings, no appointments, no obligations, just open space, open time, open possibility, and people thought he was crazy. His family worried. What are you doing with your life? His friends questioned him. Are you having a breakdown? His former colleagues judged him. He gave up. He couldn't handle the pressure. Society told him he was making a mistake. You're wasting your potential. You're throwing away your career. You'll regret this. But he didn't stop, because he understood something they didn't. External validation is just another form of clutter, another layer of noise, another obstacle between you and truth. And he was done with obstacles, done with noise, done with anything that wasn't his. Phase 3, the empty space test. After removing everything that drained him, Takeshi had a problem. His life was almost empty. No obligations, no busy schedule, no constant activity, just space. Lots of space. This terrified him at first. Humans fear emptiness. We're conditioned to fear it. From childhood, keep busy, stay productive, fill your time. Don't waste a moment. Emptiness feels wrong, feels lazy, feels like failure. So we fill our lives with noise to avoid silence. We stay busy to avoid facing ourselves. We create complexity to avoid simplicity, because simplicity reveals truth, and truth is uncomfortable. But Takashi forced himself to sit with the emptiness, to not fill it, to not fix it, to not escape it, just sit, just be, just exist in the space for days, then weeks, then months. And something interesting happened. Without all the noise, without all the distractions, without all the obligatory activities, his natural inclination started to surface, like bubbles rising in still water, slow, gentle, undeniable. He found himself drawn to certain activities, not because someone told him to, not because they looked impressive, not because they fit his identity, but because he genuinely wanted to do them. He started woodworking, not as a hobby, not as a business, not as anything, just because. He'd walk to the small workshop in town, ask if he could help. They'd give him scraps. He'd shape them, for hours. No goal, no project, just the act of working with wood, creating something from nothing, feeling the material respond to his hands. This brought him peace, deep peace, the kind he'd never felt in 40 years of successful career. He started teaching local kids basic life skills, not formally. Not as a program, just naturally. A kid would ask a question. He'd show them how to fix a bike, how to cook a simple meal, how to save money, how to think about problems. Not lecturing, just showing, demonstrating, guiding. This felt meaningful, more meaningful than any corporate achievement, more meaningful than any promotion, more meaningful than any quarterly target. He started writing short essays about simplicity, about elimination, about finding clarity through subtraction. He didn't publish them, didn't show anyone, just wrote, for himself, to clarify his thoughts, to process his experience, to understand what he'd learned. This satisfied something deep, something he'd ignored for decades. These weren't planned, they weren't chosen, they emerged naturally from the space he created, from the emptiness he allowed. This is the secret most people never discover. Purpose doesn't need to be found. It emerges automatically when you remove everything that isn't it. Like a spring. You don't create the spring. You remove the rocks covering it. You don't find water. You uncover the source that was always there. Purpose is the same. It's not out there. It's not waiting to be discovered. It's here, inside you. Always has been. Covered by layers of should, layers of expectations, layers of borrowed goals. Remove the layers, and you'll see it, clear as day, obvious as breathing. Phase 4. The single question filter. Once his life was simple, once his purpose was clear, Takeshi implemented one rule. One question he asked before adding anything new to his life, before accepting any invitation, before starting any project, before making any commitment. The question was, does this bring me closer to or further from clarity? Not, is this a good opportunity? Not, will this make me money? Not, will this impress people? Not, should I do this? Just, closer to or further from clarity. Simple. Binary. Impossible to rationalize around. If it brought him closer to clarity, to alignment to purpose, he considered it. Carefully, slowly, deliberately. If it pulled him further away, he rejected it. Immediately. Completely. No matter how attractive the opportunity seemed, no matter how much money was involved, no matter how prestigious it looked, no matter who was asking, this filter transformed his decision-making. He said no to almost everything. Not because he was antisocial, not because he was lazy, not because he was afraid, but because he valued clarity more than opportunity. And most opportunities are just sophisticated distractions, dressed-up obstacles, expensive detours. He was offered consulting work, good money, respected clients. He said no. Why? Because consulting would fill his schedule, drain his energy, pull him back into the world he'd left. Further from clarity, he was invited to teach at a local university. Prestigious, respectable, professional development. He said no. Why? Because academia would require politics, publications, performance, drain. He was asked to join a community leadership board, honorable, important, meaningful to others. He said no. Why? Because community politics would consume time, create obligations, generate complexity, further from clarity. And here's what happened. His purpose became undeniable, unavoidable, impossible to ignore. He lived in his small house, worked with wood, taught kids occasionally, wrote when inspired, owned almost nothing, needed almost nothing. And he was happy, genuinely happy, not excited, not motivated, not positive thinking his way through misery, actually happy, content, aligned, at peace. Not because he found some grand calling, not because he discovered hidden passion, not because he achieved something impressive, but because he eliminated everything that wasn't aligned with who he actually was. That's purpose, not a destination, not a career, not an achievement, not a title, just alignment. Between who you are and how you live, between your nature and your actions, between your truth and your choices. That's it. That's the whole thing. And it's revealed through subtraction, not addition. Now let me give you the practical system. Your 30-day reverse Ikigai protocol. This isn't theory. This isn't philosophy. This is a concrete method, a step-by-step process that will reveal your purpose in 30 days. If you follow it completely, if you're brutally honest, if you're willing to eliminate. Most people won't do this. They'll read it, think interesting, and change nothing. Don't be most people. If you want this, commit, fully, now, or don't start at all. Week 1. Observation without judgment. For 7 days, track everything. Every activity you do, every person you interact with, every thought pattern that repeats, every emotion you feel, everything. Keep a notebook with you, physical notebook, not phone. Phone is too easy to ignore. Notebook demands attention. And for each item, rate it, energy or drain, not good or bad, not right or wrong, not important or unimportant. Just, does this energize me or drain me? Simple, clear, honest. Don't change anything yet. Don't try to fix anything. Don't start eliminating. Just observe, just gather data. Just see the truth of your current life. Most people skip this step. They think they already know. They don't. You don't know yourself as well as you think. Observation reveals patterns you've never noticed, drains you've normalized, energy sources you've taken for granted. 7 days, everything, energy or drain. Write it down. Be honest, uncomfortably honest. This is the foundation. Skip it and everything else fails. Week 2. Identify the pattern. Look at everything that energized you. Everything. No matter how small, no matter how insignificant it seems. And find the common thread. What's consistent across all of them? Is it creation, building, making, transforming raw materials into something? Is it connection, deep conversation, meaningful relationship, authentic interaction? Is it problem solving, puzzles, challenges, figuring things out? Is it solitude, space, silence, being alone? Is it movement, physical activity, using your body? Is it teaching, explaining, guiding, helping others understand? Is it learning, discovering, exploring, acquiring knowledge? There's a pattern, always, for everyone. Find it. This isn't guesswork, it's observation. The data shows you. If you recorded everything honestly, the pattern is obvious. That pattern is your signal. That pattern is your nature. That pattern is what you're built for. Everything else is noise. Everything else is borrowed. Everything else is drain. The pattern is yours, only yours, and it's been there your whole life. You just couldn't see it under all the clutter. Week 3, strategic elimination. Now comes the hard part. The part where most people quit. The part that separates people who want to change from people who actually change. Cut one draining thing every day, 7 days, 7 eliminations. Start small if you need to. An app you mindlessly scroll. Delete it. A subscription you never use. Cancel it. A commitment that feels obligatory. Drop it. A possession you don't need. Sell it or throw it away. Build momentum. Prove to yourself you can do this, that you can let go, that you can eliminate. Then, midweek, cut something big, something scary, something that requires courage, a toxic relationship, a soul-crushing obligation, a life pattern that no longer serves you. This will be uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. Your ego will resist, your fear will scream, your conditioning will fight back. Do it anyway. Because this is where transformation happens, not in the easy eliminations, in the hard ones, in the scary ones, in the ones that make your hands shake and your heart race. Those are the ones that matter. By the end of the week, you should have space, real space, empty calendar blocks, quiet mental space, physical space in your home. If you don't feel lighter, you haven't eliminated enough. Go deeper, cut more, be ruthless. Week 4, space and emergence. Don't fill the space you created. This is critical, absolutely critical. Your brain will panic. I should be productive. I should use this time. I should fill this space. Resist. Don't add anything. Just sit with emptiness. Let it exist. Let it be uncomfortable. And pay attention. Really pay attention. What naturally emerges? What do you find yourself drawn to when no one's watching? When there's no pressure? When there's no audience? When there's no should? That's your purpose. Not what you think it should be. Not what looks good. Not what seems impressive. What it actually is. And it might surprise you. It might be small, quiet, unimpressive. That's okay. That's probably right. Because real purpose usually is small, quiet, unimpressive to others, but massive to you. Let it emerge. Don't force it. Don't manufacture it. Don't create it. Just observe. Just allow. Just witness. And it will appear. I guarantee it. If you've done the first 3 weeks correctly, your purpose will emerge in week 4. Naturally. Undeniably. Obviously. Here's the truth most people can't accept. Your purpose might not be impressive. It might not make you rich. It might not look good on social media. It might not win approval from your family. It might be simple, quiet, small. And that's exactly why it's real. Because purpose isn't about impressing others. It's about alignment with yourself. Takeshi's purpose. Making things with wood and teaching kids basic skills. Not impressive. Not ambitious. Not world-changing. But it was his. Completely his, authentically his, undeniably his, and that made it perfect. The question isn't, what's my grand purpose? The question is, what's left when I remove everything that isn't mine? The answer to that question is your purpose, and you don't find it. You reveal it through elimination, through subtraction, through removing everything that isn't essential. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, stop searching, stop trying, stop adding, start removing. One thing per day minimum that drains you. One commitment, one possession, one pattern, one relationship, one obligation. One should, and pay attention to what remains, to what emerges, to what you naturally move toward when all the noise is gone. That's your purpose, not hiding, not waiting to be found, just covered. Under layers of should, layers of expectations, layers of borrowed goals. Remove the layers, and you'll see it, clear as day, obvious as breathing, undeniable as your own heartbeat. Let me tell you about someone who applied this. Her name was Sarah, 38 years old. Corporate lawyer, six-figure salary, partnership track, prestigious firm, respected position, and absolutely miserable. She'd been searching for purpose for 10 years, read every book, took every assessment, went to therapy, tried mindfulness, explored spirituality. Nothing worked. She still felt empty, still felt like she was living someone else's life. Then she found this method. She was skeptical. I've tried everything. Why would this be different? But she was desperate. So she committed. Week 1, she tracked everything and discovered something shocking. 90% of her life drained her. Work, most social events, her apartment, her relationship, almost everything. Only 3 things energized her. Writing legal analysis, not the cases themselves. Just the process of breaking down complex arguments into clear logic. Mentoring junior associates, helping them think through problems, teaching them how to argue. Long walks alone. No phone, no podcast, just walking and thinking. That was it. Week 2, she found the pattern. Clarity. Everything that energized her involved taking complexity and making it clear. Complex arguments into simple logic, confused associates into confident thinkers, cluttered thoughts into organized understanding. That was her signal. Clarity through simplification. Week 3, she started eliminating. Small things first. Networking events, canceled. Lunch meetings with people she didn't like. Stopped. Expensive apartment she never enjoyed. Moved to something smaller, then the big one. Her relationship. They'd been together 5 years. Everyone expected marriage. But when she was honest, truly honest, it drained her. He was fine. Just fine. Not bad. Not abusive. Just wrong. Wrong for her. They wanted different things, had different values. She'd been staying because leaving seemed cruel. Week 3, she ended it. Hardest conversation of her life, but also the most honest. Week 4, she sat with the space, with the emptiness, with the uncertainty, and something emerged. She wanted to teach, not law, clarity. She wanted to help people think clearly, write clearly, argue clearly. That was it. That was her purpose. Not some grand mission, not saving the world, just helping people clarify their thinking. Simple, quiet, hers. So she made a plan, not a rushed plan, a careful plan. She'd work 1 more year, save money, build a cushion, then leave the firm, start teaching. Maybe online courses, maybe private coaching, maybe writing. She didn't know exactly, but she knew the direction, and that was enough. Today, 2 years later, she teaches writing and critical thinking, makes less money, has no prestigious title, works from a small apartment, and she's happy, actually happy. Not pretending, not compensating, not coping, happy because she's aligned between who she is and how she lives. That's what this method does. Not gives you a new identity, reveals the one you already have, under all the clutter, under all the borrowed goals, under all the should. Tell me in the comments, what's the first thing you're eliminating? What's been draining you that you're finally ready to cut? Because that first cut is the hardest, and also the most important. It proves to yourself that you can let go, that you can eliminate, that you can choose yourself over others' expectations. That first elimination is the beginning of everything. If this video changed how you think about purpose and meaning, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because everything I teach follows the same principle. Clarity comes through subtraction, not addition. Mastery comes through elimination, not accumulation. Purpose comes through revelation, not discovery. Master elimination, and you'll master life. Remove what's not yours, and what remains is undeniably, authentically, permanently yours. If you've watched this far, thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.